What's up, guys? Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and today we're taking a look at the second disc in the James Conrad line, the Terra. Let's get to it. The MVP Terra is releasing in Neutron plastic. It is an overstable fairway driver. Its flight numbers are speed of 8, glide of 5, turn of 0, and a fade of 3. So, yeah, good overstable fairway driver. Kind of comparable to a Firebird, a little slower, not as overstable. And I think we need that. A lot of people gravitate towards the Firebird just because Nate Sexton's awesome, and he is. But if I've said it before, if you look on Innova's website for the description of the Firebird, it says right there it's intended for advanced and professional players just because they're the ones who are going to get the most use out of it. It takes, that arm speed to get all the flights out of a Firebird. For most people, it's just an overstable utility disc. And you can achieve that same flight with a slower disc or a disc that's not as overstable and other shots too. So I think it's more beneficial to you to bag something slower or not as overstable, just to give you some more shot selection or more shaping options out of a disc. So it was nice getting my hands on the Terra early. Again, thank you to MVP for adding me to your tester team. I always felt rushed making my reviews. I would get the disc at release, and I would try to turn out a review in a week, just keep it relevant. And that often meant rushing editing and hoping work and weather cooperated. So now that I had some time, I was really able to take this disc out, work with it. Kind of trying to work on my editing game and graphics as well. I've had a lot of requests for me to zoom in on some of my shots just to help really see the flight. So I've begun messing with that in these videos. So hope it turns out all right for you guys. But without further ado, let's head out to the field and see how the Terra flies.
We are working with a bit of a crosswind today. I'm going to start off with some Hyzer just to kind of gauge the stability of the Terra. And out the gate, yep, it's pretty stable. Next up, I want to go with another Hyzer, but a little bit lower, get that forward push, keep it out of the wind. You see you get some great ground play despite the wet conditions. And one last Hyzer. I'm going to take some angle off of this, but put a lot of air under it. Start it out way to the right. Watch it ride back on that 5 glide to center. Onto a flat shot. I'm really trying to put some speed on this disc. Hammering it flat. Pushes nice and straight, and then dumps out well at the end. For this shot, I do take a little bit off it, try to smooth it a bit more. End up throwing it up a little higher, and you see the minute it starts to slow, that fade really takes it to the left. Up next, we got an Anhyzer. Really like to crank over on this disc. Get a nice pan to the right, but you see it fights out the end to finish nice and flat and skip forward. And wrapping up my session in the field, I want to go for a nice distance flex shot. I was trying to keep it nice and tight within the confines of that goal in front of me. Did a pretty good job of that. That was nice. I want pushed out to about 320. And as you probably expected, for forehands, the Terra is a great disc. Just get it out there nice and flat. You can put a little flex on if you want, and it's going to fight back over to finish.
Now, if I'm being honest, after that field session, wasn't really feeling the Terra. I know conditions weren't that great. The field was a bit muddy. There was that crosswind not helping. But I just thought I could get the same shots and more from other discs that I bag. But I still want to give the Terra a shot. So that weekend, I did play tags down at Sedgley Woods. And I brought the Terra with me. And that's where it started to rub off on me a bit.
Now we're here at Sedgley Woods, hole 6. 181-foot shot. And a finesse Terra is just what you need to get over to the basket. Hole 9, nice uphill shot here. I'm able to take the Terra through this tight left gap because I know I can trust just pushing it straight. It's not going to flip over on me. Get the wild kick onto the green. Hole 10, another finesse forehand. Just put the disc out there flat and it does all the work for you. Sits right next to the basket for a drop-in birdie. The Terra is ideal for hole 11 from the yellows. I can just smash on this disc a little wide to the right and know it's going to hook up and drift around the guardian trees to nestle right under the basket. Hole 20 from the red tee has a really intimidating gap to beat right off the tee, but with the Terra, I know I can trust it just to smash it right down the middle and don't have to worry about it flipping. And lastly, hole 18 from the reds. I've always seen people take this wide Hyzer, and I knew the Terra would be perfect for it. Just put it up there in the open sky, let the stability kick in, and I know that glide's going to be enough to bring me right back under the basket. Actually hit off the front of it, curled back to about 10 feet, still a birdie.
So I know I said after the field session I wasn't really feeling the Terra. After the Sedgley session, it's in my bag. I just love how dependable this disc is. I know I can aim down my line and just mash on this thing, and it's going to fly straight and then fade. I can even give it a little bit of Anhyzer if I need to stretch it out a little bit more, but still, it's going to fight back and fade out. And just having something that's that, just simple and reliable, it really helped, give me some confidence. I'm a Hyzer flip player, and I'll be honest with you guys, mentally I've been struggling with it, just committing to angles, trusting my discs, and it has been like crazy windy this year. So I've been getting beat up, but having this Terra and getting it, out on the course there in some, real life scenarios, like hole 20, that shot takes my lunch money more often than not. Just, it's such a tight gap. It's maybe 5 feet wide you got to hit, and you got to hit it with, with some power. So to just mash this thing through that was one of the best tee shots I've had on that hole. Traditionally, I take like double bogey or worse, and that set me up for an easy 3. Everything on the outback of Sedgley is par 3. So, that was a big shot for me. I really, that's kind of where I was like, okay, this deserves a spot in your bag. So that was kind of like the defining moment for me. And again, if you are a player who, doesn't like the forehand putters or mid ranges, which is a lot of people, just they don't like that deep dish feeling with the forehand, and you want to do like that utility shot. Utility Terra shots are totally a thing. A lot of people will, forget prior to him joining Discraft, Paul McBeth's forehand upshot game was a Firebird. There was no putter or mid range that he really liked to forehand. He was usually doing these little like chip Firebird shots. So nothing wrong with that. So if that's your style, definitely the Terra fulfills that role. So again, thank you to MVP for sending these out for me to test. I really enjoyed them. I can't wait to see James throw this thing. I believe we might have seen him throwing them already on the course. I think I suspect there's a disc he throws that's white with no stamp on it. I think that's one, and I think I saw him throwing something else at the All-Star weekend that was a Terra. So I can't wait to see what he does with it. I'm really excited. He's going to have that trustworthy Hyzer disc. It should be cool to see. So again, guys, thank you so much for all the support. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll do my best to answer them. Take care.
Thank you for watching this review of the MVP Terra. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and other disc golf content. Lastly, thank you to my sponsors. For all your disc golf needs, check out Phoenix Discs and Basket Bashers Disc Golf.